Welcome to the Knitterarium podcast. My name is Ruth. I'm your host. I'm a knitwear designer here in Westmeath in Ireland, where this podcast is coming to you from. Today is Saturday the 13th of May and this is episode 18. If you are a returning viewer, welcome back. Thank you so much for returning week after week. If you are a new to me viewer just stumbling across this podcast, welcome. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I really love and appreciate that you all take time out of your busy days to spend it with me while we all chat about knitting. The places that you can find me are on my website, Knitterarium.com. This is the best place to find the stories linked to some of the patterns. You can sign up for my newsletter. You'll also find links to any of the Knitterarium patterns on my website. You will find me on Instagram. This is where I'm most active, and you'll find daily posts on there. And you can also find me in our Ravelry Group, Knitterarium. And that's the best place if you want to chat further than maybe on Instagram. We have lots of different chatter threads depending on if you're participating in the knit-alongs or if you just want general chatter. We have a book thread, ask me anything thread, and you can come along and introduce yourself. So do please come along and join. We'd love to have you. I'm going to put all the links for those down here so that they are easy for you to access. I think that probably takes care of all of that. So I think we will just grab our knitting, get comfortable, and we'll get started with In the Design Corner. I didn't record last week, which I'll go into further in our Chit Chat section, but so it's 2 weeks that I have to catch up with you. And although last week wasn't so busy in the inside world of Knitterarium, which is what the Design Corner is all about, take a look at what I've been working on design-wise. This week I've been making good progress, and we'll take a look at Grania, which is in my Daisy Stitches bag here, and Grania is knit in this wonderful grey colour. This is A Life in the Long Grass. Grey. It doesn't have a colour name. It was specially dyed up for me. It's a 4-ply 100% superwash merino yarn, and Grania is the last shawl in the Ladies of Legend collection. And let me see. We are quite bunched up here. I am knitting this on my Sherwood interchangeable needles. And it is quite wide now at the minute. So back front. I'm looking at the beads. So you'll see this is the progress I have so far on it. I'm quite pleased with how this is going. It's moving along through the sections nicely, and I find it's a lovely relaxing knit because it's just got lace sections and garter sections, and each break the other one up, so it has become a really relaxing knit. I'll just show you a look at the beads, and naturally enough the beads they're optional. I am using these are a size 6. They're a Debbie Abrams size 6 round bead, and these are colour number 56. I'll just give you a close-up look of those on the piece itself. So that's how they look on the grey. They give it a real metal kind of look, which was just what I was going for, because Grania is the warrior of all of the ladies in the collection. So I very much took that part and ran with it, but I'll explain more on that when it's released. So she's really been coming along. As I said, Grania is the last in that Ladies of Legend collection. That'll be 6 shawls then in that collection, and it brings that collection to an end, which is kind of a little bit, it's a little bit sad. It's a little bit exciting too, because it means I can move on with other things, and I've had lots of plans for other things. And in my lovely craft house magic bag, I have been swatching. So I can only show you a swatch. I've been swatching with this beautiful, this is 4-ply. This is Pendle 4-ply by Eden Cottage Yarns. I think this one is the Rambling Rose. I'll look it up. It is, yes, Rambling Rose. I was right. This is the tag of it. So it's this beautiful rosy pink colour. Isn't it lovely? So I've been swatching with that. That pattern is knit up and it is ready to it's ready for me to just cast on. I just need to move a bit further into Grania, that it's nearly at the border, and then I'll probably make a start on that one. That there is I have a funny shaped yarn cake because I recaked this one. I recaked this one because my old ball winder made such a mess of it, and I got a new ball winder, and it's lovely. I love it. It no longer drives me scatty, and it's wonderful. So that is what I have been swatching for. And the other thing in the design corner are the socks, my dearest, loveliest Elizabeth socks. One sock is complete, so the pattern is now able to go to editing and testing, and it is with both of those at the moment. And I am using for this is Sherwood Yarns BFL sock. This is the Holly Blue colourway, and then for contrasting heels and toes I'm using Sherwood Yarns BFL in Blue Steel. This is Blue Steel, and these are knit in the opposite colourings of To Darcy with Love. I haven't blocked these yet, and I'm not going to put it on the sock block, but I'm going to hold it way back here because this one is a bit of a while I want you to see it, I don't want you to see just too much of the patterning just yet. So this is sock one. See, it's all done. So we have the contrasting toes and heels, which is the opposite of To Darcy with Love, and that was deliberate. So it was. I deliberately chose two colours that would work one way for Darcy and the opposite way for Elizabeth. It just seemed to make sense to me. So the second sock, I have just put in the heel, and I am working on the gusset decreases at the minute on the second sock. So I've been making progress on that. So I have trying to think, was that all? 2 weeks is a long time. I've gotten into the habit of weekly podcasts, and now I'm trying to remember what I worked on. I know last week I didn't get a terrible amount of work done, which, as I said, we'll go into in the Chit Chat section. I'm getting tongue-tied now. I think that's all. Yeah. My dearest, loveliest Elizabeth socks I'm keeping in my Mina Phillips bag, and I'm knitting those on my Knit Pro Things 2.25s. That is what I'm knitting those on. So I think with that we'll head on into finishing talking about some socks in our Happy Feet section. And I finished my To Darcy with Love socks that I was knitting as part of the Darcy Cal on Instagram. It's hashtag Darcy Cal, and it's running until May the 31st. And if you knit and complete a pair of 2 Darcy with Love socks before May the 31st, just post them on Instagram, use the hashtag Darcy Cal, and you can be entered in to win a prize. And I bought the prize here. So the prize will be, we have a project bag and DPN case from Fondant Fibres, and then we have this beautiful Eden Cottage Yarns Tempo 4-ply in the compost colourway, and this is 75% wool and 25% nylon, so it is perfect for socks. So that's the prize that you can win for the Darcy Cal. And I've been knitting on my socks and they are complete. So you may have seen these if you are following me on Instagram, but these are my 2 Darcy with Love socks. So the main colour that I used is Oakworth, Eden Cottage Yarns Oakworth in Meadow Rue, and for contrasting heels and toes, this is Driftwood from Eden Cottage Yarns in the Tempo 4-ply. So that's sock 1. And just to show you that I do have a completed 2 pairs, is these ones here. So I have a pair of socks there. Sorry about that cut. I had my youngest wanted to grab her teddies, which she had left here in the room with me, and she needs to have them. So where was I? Oh, the socks. Yeah. So 1 pair of completed 2 Darcy with Love socks. So now that I've shown them to you, I can wear them. I also have, my bags are all falling off the chair before I've put them. I also have enough of yarn left over. If you've seen the completed socks on Instagram, you'll have seen my question. I have enough of yarn left over to knit another pair of socks in the contrasting colours. Not in the contrasting colours, in the opposite colouring. Am I making sense? No. In the opposite colouring. So I'll do the main part in the Driftwood. Whoop. And then I'll use what's left of the Meadow Rue for contrast. So my question had been whether I should wait and keep this and knit a pair of my Dearest Loveliest Elizabeth in these with the Meadow Rue for contrast. And I think most people said yes, and I agree. So I'm going to hang on to the remainder of these, and when my Dearest Loveliest Elizabeth is released, I'm going to knit contrasting, not a contrasting, I keep saying contrasting. I'm going to knit a pair in the opposite colouring to the 2 Darcy with Love socks, just like the original ones. That's what I'm going to keep that for. So that left me then with no other socks on my needles apart from finishing off the sample of my Dearest Loveliest Elizabeth. Sorry, excuse me, my voice is all scratchy at the minute. Oh, sorry, it disappeared. So I had to find some yarn to knit something else. So in my lovely Elderwood craft bag from Emma, which my daughters just love, my youngest daughters just love this. They were picking up the bag earlier and they were reading out all the birds and all the birds' names on it and having a look at them, and they were seeing what ones they see in the garden, and they opened it up and they very funny, because they spotted the lovely spotty fabric on the inside, and they thought this was just so funny and so delightful. They loved it. So inside this I have caked up, I split it again into two 50-gram cakes. This is Sherwood Yarns BFL sock again in the Marion colourway. So it's this beautiful yellowy gold colour. So I'm going to knit another pair of 2 Darcy with Love socks in this, and I'm going to use this, I think this is Admiral Chopel wool in just a natural colourway. I think that's what it is. So I'm just going to use that for contrast. I keep dropping these. So I think that's what I'm going to cast those on. I'm going to cast those on maybe later on today while I'm editing and uploading this this episode. That's kind of the idea. So that's what I'm going to start on next, and they're going to be yellow, and you know I love yellow socks. So this is kind of like a gold, a deep goldy yellow. There's so many different shades of yellow, and each makes me smile. So I'm looking forward to having that. That's what I have in socks. What do we'll move on a little bit now, I think, we'll chat about shawls. And the last day had I finished deck the last day, or had I just a couple of more rows to go, but I didn't have it blocked, I'm not sure. I can't remember, but anyway. My deck shawl is complete. Isn't this lovely? This is it here in all its glory. It's lovely. I really love how this blocked out. This is the deck shawl by Talitha Kwame, and the colours I used, this bluey colour is Oakworth 4-ply in the Tide colourway, and this is Oakworth 4-ply in the Twig colourway, and both of those are by Eton Cottage Yarns. So I have this shawl all complete, and it's lovely. I really enjoy this, and it's a lovely great size, and this is the small size. There is a larger size that you could knit on it, but I just had one skein of each colourway, so I knit the small size, and the small size is quite generous. It's lovely. I'm really looking forward to wearing this shawl. So I have that one complete. I don't think I have any other. Sorry, excuse me. I'm after holding that up my nose now, and all the fibres are making me itchy. I don't think I have any other shawls that I'm actively knitting on. I do have my Dying of the Light, which was the last shawl I was knitting as part of the Knitterarium Year Review Shawl Knit Along. And between one thing and another, I just didn't get time to finish and complete that one. So because we have moved into the next theme, I have moved that 3-colour version of the Dying of the Light into on the Shawl Shelf section, and I will work on it, but not just yet, because I want to really get on with knitting some garments, and you'll see why in Treasure Trove, so you will. So that is my that's my completed deck shawl. That is my completed deck shawl, so that means it's a very short on the Shawl Shelf section. We'll move on with why I won't be returning to Dying of the Light for a while, because I'm bringing back our Through the Wardrobe section, because I want to get back to knitting on my garment. So you will remember, if you are watching from nearly the start, you may remember, you may not, because it's been a while from we've seen this. This is my Herbarium Jumper. I'm just trying to find the picture. By NCL Knits. So that's it there. It's the Herbarium Jumper by NCL Knits. And I put this aside some time ago. I'm trying to see how I am on it. Okay, so I am on the back. Okay. All right. So I have split for the back. So I'm on the back. Let me see. I think somewhere here. So I knit this much and then I put it aside. And I checked the instructions before I started to record this, and I have 6 rows left to do on the back before splitting for the shoulders. That I could figure out where I was. I just hope I remember on the front whereabouts I am. Now I know I took notes, so I hope I took really good notes, because the front, as you'll see, is this lovely lace patterning, which is beautiful. And so I hope I remember where I was in that patterning. I hope, really, I hope. I'm sure I'll figure it out. It'll either look right or it'll look wrong. So we'll see what it says. So I have just another couple of rows on the back of that, which I'm hoping to do some this weekend. And we can get on with that, because I really want to wear it. I'm really wanting to start some garments, and I really want to get knitting some garments. I think my lighting has gone a bit funny on that. The lighting hasn't changed outside that much. Anyway, the yarn I'm using for this is Eden Cottage yarns. This is Tempo 4 ply in this is Apricot Tulip colorway. So, and this is lovely and soft. I am knitting it on my high sharps, on my 3.5mm high sharps. That's what I'm knitting on that. So I'm really looking forward to getting back to that. And you'll see why in Treasure Trove, why I am all about the garments. I really want to start knitting on some garments. So I need to get that one done out of the way. So that's what we have there. In that, we will move on with some knit along news. So knit along news. Let's see, where are we? The Just Be You theme for the Knitterarium Year Review. Just Be You. That theme began on May the 1st and it runs until June the 30th. And there are threads for that over in the Ravelry Group. And I did confirm, I'm looking for them now. I did confirm the prize, here we are. I did confirm the prizes for the Just Be You shawl knit along. So if you're partaking in that, this is what you could possibly win. We have 2 prizes. And you'll have seen this beautiful skein of April Showers 4-ply sock yarn from Strand Designs, which Karina so very kindly and generously donated to us. Isn't it just wonderful? Look at all those beautiful speckles throughout it. So this is the skein of yarn that could be won. This is one prize. And the other prize is from Kira of Emerald Fibres. And you might remember this from my gorgeous hedgehog bag that I showed you a couple of weeks ago. Well, Kira donated one to us for the Year of You shawl cal, and she donated this beautiful dandelion wish flowers, as I call them, bag to the podcast. So it's got this beautiful strap and a rope tie which pulls like that, and inside we have this beautiful blue sky with clouds fabric on the inside. Isn't that gorgeous? And then it's got this, and it's called Make a Wish. Isn't it beautiful? Thank you so much, Kira. Your bags are just wonderful. Kira draws out all of these. These are all her own drawings, and she prints them out onto the fabric, and then she makes the project bags up from that. they are all so unique. They're absolutely wonderful, and you will find Kira's shop Emerald Fibres on Etsy, and you should definitely check her out. So they are the two prizes for the Just Be You shawl knit along that we are knitting in as part of the Knitterarium Year of You shawl knit along. So they're the prizes. There, that's better. They're the prizes. Just put those to one side. So the shawl I'm knitting for this knit along, I am knitting another version of 18. This here is 18. And in my own Emerald Fibres bag, the one with the gorgeous, lovely, cute, look, hedgehog, isn't he so gorgeous? In that is my 18, and I am knitting it in, this yarn is also from Strand Designs. I don't actually do that on purpose. I don't actually, it just so happens that the last few have turned out that I have used a project bag and knit with the yarn from who the prizes are coming from. I've just realised that. But I am using this gorgeous Strand Designs. This is chocolate orange, and this is Karina's, it's 100% superwash merino, and it's a larger skein. There's 600 meters on this. I don't know, does she call these her shawl skeins or something? I don't know why I have that in my mind, so I think she might. But anyway, there's 600 meters on this, and it's called chocolate orange. And I am knitting 18, this version of 18 in it. So this is what I have so far. So you will see a little bit of I've just started a little bit of the lace. The lace on that. There we go. That's better. So it's lovely. I'm really enjoying how the yarn is working up in this one. I am knitting that on my Hiya Sharps as well. Those, the Hiya Sharps and the Chowgu are both my favourite needles to knit on for that. Although I have been debating about getting smaller needles. You know, the 9-inch circular needles. I have been debating about getting some of those for my sock knitting to try them out. I'm normally a DPN sock knitter. That's what I like. So I know I'm going back to socks, but I've just remembered it. So I am thinking of purchasing some of those and giving the little circulars a go. They could be, I can see the benefit of how quick they would be. Okay, so I think that's all in the Just Be You. I think so. I'm going to have to stop here again because I've forgotten to bring out my iPad so we can do the prize drawing for the ebook of The Voyages of Vivian that I reviewed in the last episode. I have to announce the winner this episode, so just give me a sec. So back again. As I said, I forgot to bring out my iPad so we could do the drawing for the Voyages of Vivian book. About 2 weeks ago, I reviewed The Voyages of Vivian, and I reviewed The Voyages of Vivian, and the patterns in it. So if you want to check out episode 17, you'll be able to see my review of that. And I was paying on the kindness of Talitha, who so very kindly gave me a copy of her book to review. And so there was a giveaway in the Ravelry group for an ebook version of The Voyages of Vivian. So the winner will have gifted to their Ravelry library an ebook version of that book with all 8 patterns in it. So we had 17 entries. I have locked the thread now, and we have we had 17 entries. So the winner, if we can see, is entry number 10, who is 10 is V Shaw 7, and the prompt I had asked for, where has been your favorite destination, or your favorite one if you are planning to visit there. So V Shaw 7, who is, do we have Vicky, who lives in Canada, and her answer was, my favorite was Cape Breton in Canada. So congratulations, Vicky. I will forward on that ebook copy to your Ravelry library. And thank you to everyone for participating in the giveaway. I really enjoyed reading everybody's answers. It was lovely to read them all. I feel this episode is a little bit stop-starty. I'm not quite sure whether that's to do with because it's been 2 weeks from my podcast and I'm a bit out of practice. It's funny how a week out of podcasting can throw you. I'm always quite surprised by that. So I do apologise if it's a bit stop-starty. So I'm just looking through my notes because I have a feeling I'm going to forget something. So I'm trying not to, fingers crossed. So we will move on now into treasure trove, because there has been some treasure trove. So there has. I did, as I mentioned, I got a new ball winder, and I will try to insert a picture of that here now. And I really love my new ball winder. So much so that I did think about maybe winding all the yarn, which is kind of a bit daft, but there you go. That's what I did, but I do love it. And that's how much my last one was just driving me bonkers. So it was. I need to move some of the stuff around me now. Sorry. So if I'm stretching. So treasure trove. Okay, let's get started with. You'll remember I think in the last episode, the week before, the one before that, I told you about some yarn I had ordered from Chilly Knits, which is Connie of the Chilly Knits podcast. I think that's what it is, Chilly Knits podcast. Anyway, hi Connie if you're watching. So this is Connie's card to Chilly Knits, and this is called The Sound of Silence. And just look at this gorgeous yarn. I've been wanting to cake up this yarn, but I wanted to show you guys first. Isn't it just gorgeous? Look at these beautiful, beautiful colours. Oh, they're just, and I just can't wait to see how this knits up. So I'm really, I really want to knit this up. I'm not sure. This is 85% superwash merino and 15% nylon. So this is going to be socks. I'm not sure what kind. It's lovely, and it's so soft. It's lovely. It's very nice. I can't wait to see. I'm just wondering, I wonder what To Darcy with Love would look like in these. They'd be fantastic. Okay, moving on. Let me see. I did, Barnwool was holding a special, you could order birthday cake colorway to celebrate 2 years in business. I think it was 2 years in business. And I ordered a skein of it. It is 80% wool and 20% polyamide. And it was this beautiful, colouring. This was it. Look at these, just dashes of bright neon colours, all sorts on it. It's really lovely. So this one is called Birthday Cake and it's from Barnful. Yeah, Barnful. And the garments, the reason I am wanting to knit the garments so much is because I ordered another sweater quantity of yarn from Eden Cottage Yarns, and this time I ordered some Boland DK in this beautiful Black Magic Rose colourway, and I want to knit it's called From Way Back. I'm not sure who it's from, but I'll put a picture of it in here now. And I want to knit this, oops, I'm dropping it again. I want to knit that cardigan in this beautiful Black Magic Rose colourway. And I have it, and I have the Autumn Fields, which I want to, that I was telling you about a couple of weeks back, that I want to knit another cardigan in. And I'd like these cardigans for the autumn and winter. So this is why I'm really wanting to knit some garments. I don't have a lot of knitted garments. I know, shocker. I've tons of shawls and tons of socks, but not that many garments. And so I really want to knit more garments. So that's why I bought that. I was also trying out a new Irish dyer to me, which is Irish Fairy Tale Yarns. This is her tag here, and I ordered this skein, which is called Raven Wings. So this beautiful navy blue, and it's just gorgeous. This is 100%, no it's not, 75% merino and 25% nylon. So I ordered this, which is Raven Wings, this pink, which is called Freya. So those two, which I thought would make a nice pair of socks. And I also ordered this grey, which is called Fog. If I hold it in front of the camera. Honestly, I have podcasts before. I know it might seem I haven't today, but... And this, oh my gosh, that clashes with my hair. This one is called Extreme Pink, and it's, boy is it extreme. There we go, that's a little bit better. So I've this Extreme Pink to go with the Fog. It's a fantastic colouring, the two will work wonderful. These are for socks, obviously not anywhere up near my hair, which will just clash even more with it. So I got those to try them out. I have been saying to one of my testers recently that I've tons of variegated and speckled yarns for socks, but not too many kind of solid or tonal colours. And I kind of need solid and tonal colours for designing socks, just so I can see how the patterning is working up. And you can't really see that in the variegated and the speckled. But when I was ordering that yarn, I also ordered this skein, which is going to be used for a giveaway prize, and this is called Petrol. Is it focusing? This is Petrol. There we go, that's a bit better. This is Petrol, and this one is 100% merino. I knew I had one that was 100% merino. There's some pink. There is some extreme pink fibers on this one. I'll remove those. So this is going to be, this is for one of you guys, this is going to be a giveaway prize, and it's called Petrol, and that is from, that's the tag there, Irish Fairy Tale Yarns. So I ordered that. What else was there? Oh, the lovely Sarah from Sweensy Crafts. She had up on her Instagram feed some time ago some fabric, and I really loved it, and I said, oh, if you're making a bag in that, I'd love one. And she got back to me then during the week with the bag that she had made, which is this Look at this fantastic periodic table fabric. Isn't it lovely? It's fantastic. It's got a lovely grey zip, and then on the inside we have this beautiful pink gingham, which is lovely. So I really like this. This will be a good small shawl or a sock size bag. It's lovely. So I happened to get that from Sarah, and I was so delighted that she had remembered, because she has been making bags just a little bit slower because she has a shoulder injury. And so Sarah, I hope you are feeling better soon. I know how it must be so annoying when you can't do the thing you like and the thing you enjoy due to an injury. The other thing I got, still some stitch markers. These are from, where's the card? Magic Sheep. These are from Magic Sheep Creations. Is that focusing? There we go. Magic Sheep Creations, and they are on Etsy. And I got these beautiful ones. There's 8 in this pack of these beautiful heart stitch markers. They're lovely. These 8. There was 8 in this one of these little glass bead ones in that packet, and then there was 12 of these lovely flowers in that packet, and they are all from Magic Sheep Creations. So I'm going to really enjoy those. I did receive notice to tell you all about, there is a new festival being held it's been held in Whitehead in Northern Ireland, and it's been held on the 5th of August, and it's called Yarn Folk. So if there are any of you about who are considering it, this is the posters, Yarn Folk, and it's a new festival, and it's going on the 5th of August in Whitehead in Northern Ireland. So I'm back again. I ran out of memory on my camera. It seems it's just the episode of restarts. The last thing that I did, that I do have to show you in Treasure Trove, are some new books that I bought. I got a new copy of Pride and Prejudice, and it's this wonderful, gorgeous cloth bound cover. And I want to make a collection of these books. There's a whole range of them all. So this is obviously the Pride and Prejudice version of it that I picked up. I also picked up Dracula in this gorgeous black cloth bound cover, and I picked up Alice's Adventures in Wonderland and Through the Looking Glass. Really, I just picked up my favourite books to begin with, and then I can build on that. That was my thinking. And I picked up this version of Wuthering Heights. I love the covers on these. They're beautiful cloth bound versions of the classics, and so I really love those. And that is all I have to show you in Treasure Trove. I hope it's as seamless as possible with the cut and running out of space. So we'll move really just straight on into Chitty Chit Chat. I feel this episode is going. I don't know what's wrong with this episode today. Chitty Chit Chat. What have we had? So I didn't record last week because as I had mentioned the week before, I had my youngest son's communion, which meant that we had family and friends over, and that was last Saturday for that. And he had a fantastic day. He had a brilliant day. He really enjoyed himself, and everyone else seemed to too, which was good. It was worth the run up to it. You know, having friends and family over, you have to prepare the food and clean, tidy, even if it's only for when they come over. You know yourself, I have to do that. He had a fantastic day. So I spent much of the week before doing things up and getting things ready for that. So not a lot of knitting got done. I did hope to maybe record on the Friday, the day before his communion, but that just didn't happen. I just had so much I had to do that I ran out of hours in the day. So that was on Saturday. He had his communion. My husband and I also we celebrated 17 years of marriage on the Saturday as well. So we had that too. And then on Sunday we kind of had a family day out, which was lovely. It was just all of us, and it was lovely. We had a fantastic day out. And the weather was just fantastic. Everybody was getting burnt, and there was you had to run around with sun cream, because today there's clouds in the sky, big rain clouds in the sky. It has stopped raining just now for the minute, but it was raining earlier. And there's not a lot of sun. It's not too cold, but it's definitely, we've moved out of spring, and it definitely feels like we're heading into summer, certainly here in Ireland. Not that there's much difference temperature wise between our spring and our summer, but it definitely feels like we're heading on for summer. The tea of choice today is peppermint tea. I'm still off the caffeine. I found a few more teas that I like, so I have a nice selection of teas that I'm enjoying going on. And I'm missing the coffee less and less. I know I was going on about 2 weeks ago, but 2 weeks further on, I'm missing the coffee less and less, which is kind of nice. Let me see what I've been reading, the little bits that I can. I've been reading in my new copy of Pride and Prejudice. I switched over to this one. So I am finishing off that, and I will start with probably Dracula after that. That's the plan anyway. I've caught up on Supernatural. I was a couple of weeks behind on that. I've caught up on Supernatural. I have to catch up on all our episodes of the 100. I think I have 2, maybe 3 episodes I have to catch up on. We have been watching Prison Break, the new series on that. We've been following along from that, and we are enjoying that. I know the Doctor Who has been going strong. I don't think I've seen the end of one of them. I've been busy most of the other Saturdays when it has been on, and I don't really follow it. The older children do. We did watch, I think, a film during the week, The Adjustment Bureau, with Matt Damon. We watched that. That was great. I'd seen it before, but some of the other children didn't, and they liked the story behind it. And I'm trying to think, did we do anything else? No. School tours are starting to happen now in school. I know my bigger ones have 2 weeks left. 2 weeks left, and then they're on their summer holidays. One of my eldest boys has exams to sit this summer, so in about 3 weeks' time he'll start those, and they'll run for about a month. They're state exams, not his exams to get into college. They have a state exam that they sit about 2 years before that, so he's sitting that one. While the younger ones will still have a month further to go after that, so they have about 6 weeks of school left. Then we head into the summer holidays, so that'll be fun. We have a huge list of days out that they have planned already. They have them written down on paper, and they have these different places that they want to go and they want to see. So we have a list made of places that we have to go and see and things we have to go and do. So I hope we have the weather for it. That's all I'm going to say. I think that's possibly all I have in Chit Chat. I know probably not a lot for 2 weeks, but I feel this episode kind of went a bit haywire, and with interruptions, and between interruptions that kind of throw you off, and then not podcasting last week, I really feel I'm out of the loop, and I was just beginning to settle into a nice rhythm, so I'm hoping I'm able to get that back. So we'll move on into our last section of this episode, and it is the podcast question to you. The podcast question to you really is about, because the weather is getting so nice here and it's getting a little bit milder, and I hope it is with all of you. I want you to tell me, where is your favourite place to sit and knit in the fine weather? You know, is it outside in the garden? Is it on your patio? Maybe it's in a coffee shop. Where is your favourite place to knit? So pop your answers into the show notes for this episode, which will be in the Ravelry Group, and we'll get some chat going on that. And that really does bring us to the end of this episode. If you enjoyed this episode, please do hit the like button. If you want to be kept up to date with any new uploads to the channel, then do hit the subscribe button, and all those they're down here now on YouTube, so they're down there for you easy for you to access as well. And I have nothing else to say really, only I wish you all a very happy and relaxing knit-filled week, and I will see you all again next week. Happy knitting. Bye.